Welcome to today's video. I'm the Hooded Lid and it's Sunscreen Saturday. I think this is going to be a thing for me for a little while, maybe not every Saturday, but for a while. So I am still doing drugstore mineral. This one is zinc. This one is 50 SPF and it's water resistant. Very similar to the one I just did for Neutrogena. This is by Aveeno and it's also for sensitive skin. So we're going to give this a try, but I think this might be my last in this particular category because it's not working out so well. And I don't want to have 15 sunscreens that don't work out very well. I can handle a couple, and this would be 3. So I'm going to do the same amount I usually do. I don't have my measuring spoon with me, but this is about it. And same deal, big white hands. And there's a graininess to this. Huh. That's weird. This could just be me because we have Santa Ana winds right now and it blows everything around, every bit of dust. And I was outside a little while ago doing some sweeping. I don't know why I bothered because in a couple of hours it'll be a bunch of leaves anyway. But I'm feeling a graininess. And this is probably more white than anything else I've tried. This is more white than the Neutrogena. It is more white than the first one I tried, which was the CeraVe. This is crazy. Wow. Huh. It doesn't feel as sticky and goopy as the CeraVe. Now, the rest I've gotten into my hands, I've rubbed well, but it wasn't this much. So I'm just going to rub and see if that helps. And I'm going to kind of use this as, rub as if you are massaging your skin. You're doing a Lisa Eldridge face massage. And this is your slip agent. And who doesn't like a face massage in the morning? I don't think it's helping, but it feels nice. Nice around the sinuses, the forehead, the temples. Very nice little feeling. It may have helped a little bit. Oh, this feels kind of nice, huh? And for the neck. But that helped work it in a little bit. I do not have high hopes for this. So this will be another one where we will look at it as how does this work with makeup. Let me move you in so you can see what it looks like. All right, what's it look like on the skin? So it is not as bad as the CeraVe. It's not bunching up. It's not blending in. But I do think it's more white than the other things. And it is not completely even. So it's already kind of getting into this area. It feels moisturizing, but it doesn't feel oily. But it's on the precipice of feeling oily, I have to say. It's in my eyebrows, so I am going to work to get it out of my eyebrows. I'm going to let this sink in for a solid half hour, and then we'll come back and see about foundations. So time slipped by, I got focused on something else. It's been a good 45 minutes, but let's take a look. So here's the deal. I turned off the camera and I thought I better clean out the brows. And then I thought, you know what, let's see if I can pull this down to my chest a little bit. And I pulled down from the neck, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to move the face. And when I started to move the face, it started to blend in more. It was as if it needed to sit for 5 minutes, and then it dissipated a little bit when I blended it in again. So I have to say, I think, without benefit of putting the other footage up to take screenshots and then compare them side by side, I do think that this one is not as light as the others that I've tried, both the Neutrogena and the CeraVe. So that's one thing. If you are super pale, I mean really pale, this might work for you without makeup. For me, no, I definitely need to do some makeup. And I will say, even on my hands, if you're oily, I don't know that you'll like this. It remained feeling emollient, and just now touching my hands, it's like, okay, that has dissipated just a little bit. It's a little emollient on the face. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm completely comfortable with it, but my skin is feeling very dehydrated because we have the winds right now. I didn't drink enough water yesterday, and I don't mind this feeling at all. If you're normal to dry, you'll probably be fine. Just a heads up. So the foundations I'm using right now are the Bite, which Bite is incredibly fussy. If you have the right sunscreen under it, it's so beautiful. I'm not even going to try. Then I'm using the Fenty, but that's quite thick, and I don't want to try that with this, so I'm going to my backup. I always fall back to the Makeup Forever Reboot. This is a teeny bit dark for me, and I usually put a little bit of the Chanel LeBlanc into it, but since I'm starting with a very white face, and I've done this before, I don't lighten it, because the white face kind of lightens everything for me. And let's see how this works. If you have a lot of rosacea, and I know at least one person who follows me does, this one might do it for you because it's not as white as the others, and it might help block out your rosacea, maybe. So basically I'm just kind of putting some life back into my face. It smooths on, it glides on over the foundation like you're wearing a primer. Look how creased up on the eyeballs though. You know what? This seems to be, out of the three I've tried, the most cosmetically elegant. And I use that word, you know, by comparison. It works well with foundation. Okay, they work well together. There's no problem. It's really quite nice, actually. Let's do a little concealer. I recently got this Becca, which I have a feeling, I was going to put it in my concealer video, but I think it's going to be discontinued. And I also feel like this is the wrong color. This is why I think it's going to be discontinued. So I went back to the website to get another color, and they only had 3 colors available, and it was on sale when I got it. So I think it's going to be discontinued. But this is the Aqua. That worked well. I am going to do the Tarte Bronzer. Now because this is not wet, that is just my application, and I'm just going to go in with a Duo Fiber and blend. This will be a really nice test actually to see. It's not leaving streaks. Wow. You guys, check. This worked really, really well, both with a dry sponge and with the Duo Fiber, which I was afraid I was going to get brush strokes. Now, with the Fenty blush, I have been using this just with my fingers, just like tap, 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 tap. Melts into the skin. Really, truly. I mean, this side's blended already. And I'm using Strawberry Drip. You guys, I'm impressed. This is one I might actually put on my face. The Duo Fiber for blending in that bronzer, shocking that there are no stripy marks. The skin looks amazing. I like this. I like this with makeup. I mean, without makeup, no. But if you have to use a mineral, and if you are limited in your budget to something around a drugstore price, so far, you guys, this is really, really decent. So much better than the CeraVe. Better than the Neutrogena too. Now I do have a lot of shine. Let's see what happens when I powder it. It might get clumpy. I just want to take off the shine on my cheeks. This powder isn't really a mattifier. It just takes the edge off. Let me pull out, you can get the whole picture and my conclusions, as if you don't already know. Here's what I have to say. If you have oily skin, it's a no. If you have normal to dry skin and you're fine with something a little bit emollient, it's a yes. It starts out pretty emollient, so you got to give it a few minutes to dry down, and a few minutes is quite a few minutes, right? I let it sit on my face for about 5 minutes, was working on my eyebrows, and then blended again. And that's when that initial whiteness toned down a lot. So when I left the first time to when I came back, that comeback was what it looked like after 5 minutes, not after 45 minutes. Even though I came back 45 minutes later, I was able to accomplish that just 5 minutes after I stopped the video. So if you're very, very pale, it might work for you without any makeup. With makeup, the makeup went on so well. I used all cream products. I can't attest for what would happen with powder products. Yes, there is a shine. I like this. I do feel it, but you know what? That's what happens with mineral sunscreens. I also feel the Josie Maran mineral sunscreen, which is my favorite mineral sunscreen. It smells nice and it doesn't feel drying. And this one doesn't feel drying either. Most mineral sunscreens really dry me out. Oftentimes they will formulate them to be emollient, so they'll put a lot of butters or squalene or any number of things in there so you don't feel dry. And then a couple of hours later, my cheeks start feeling like, ooh, it's dry. So this has been on for an hour, and I am not getting the feeling that it is drying to me. I'll come back if I have some notes, or I will, do a card here and say, yeah, after 3 hours it was drying. But so far, for me, for this price range, for at the drugstore, of the 3, this is such a winner that I might actually wear on purpose. And for me personally, I do have to wear mineral sunscreens after I do microneedling. I can't do the chemicals after that. So I've been using the Make Prem, which I loathe, and I've been using the Josie Maran, which I really like, but this might supplant my Josie Maran. So yay! This ain't bad. This ain't bad. If you want something from the drugstore, if you want something that's a very decent price. And that wraps up my review and demonstration of the Aveeno Positively Mineral Sensitive Skin Sunscreen SPF 50, which is, by the way, water resistant for, I think it said 80 minutes. Pretty darn good. Thanks for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Be safe and smart, and until we meet again, I'm wishing you good health. Bye.